Hallows Eve is here once again, and as per usual, I'd like to bring to your attention more horror and supernatural anime you may or may not have heard of. So for today, with yours truly being a fan of comedy and horror media, I thought, why not delve into the 90s vault once more and take a look at one of my absolute favorite comedy horror series, Ghost Sweeper Mikami, this Halloween. So just what the heck is Ghost Sweeper Mikami anyway? Well, I'm glad you all asked. It's obviously the funniest freaking manga in existence. Okay, not quite the funniest, but definitely up there, or at least to me. Ghost Sweeper Mikami Gokuraku Daisakusen, or GS Mikami, is a comedy horror manga written and illustrated by Takashi Shina. It was serialized in Weekly Shonen Sunday of Ranma 1/2 and Detective Conan fame, on top of many others, from 1991 until the very end of the decade. Being one of the more popular shonen series from the magazine during that era, it won the 38th annual Shogakukan Prize for Best Shonen Manga and also got a TV adaptation that ran from 1993 until 1994. In this modern era, ghosts and many different apparitions exist due to certain circumstances in society. When there is trouble abound at your local business or residence, the people look to professional ghost sweepers to handle any specters that may hinder their daily lives. The series centers around famed psychic exorcist for hire Reiko Mikami and her two assistants, Yokoshima Tadao, who's basically her lapdog, and Okinu, a wandering shrine maiden spirit that they found one day on the job, and the many hijinks and disarray they experience from the jobs at hand. She's totally willing to take on the job asked of her to rid the occult, weird, and supernatural, so long as the price is right. Generally episodic in nature, the series does flesh out its plot and characters to a solid degree. It also has the typical shonen-style story arc from time to time. Anyway, let's take a look at two of my favorite episodes from the anime adaptation, shall we? So first up is episode 11, originally titled Rei Rasha de Ikou, or for us commoners roughly, let's take the ghost train. We see a bullet train moving along a very dark and ominous railway when suddenly is attacked head-on by what seems to be another train. However, this train seems to be totally of the fandom variety. They collide, and the bullet train and its operator are completely fine for some reason. What's going on here exactly? We are then introduced to Reiko and crew heading to a local train station. They discuss the matter of a haunted train that's been rumored to arrive here at 2 a.m. every night, but no ghost sweeper has ever pinpointed exactly where it arrives, except Mikami. She seems to have received a random train ticket that emits spiritual energy sometime before. Remember guys, Reiko is a highly experienced psychic that could probably rival our boy from another horror anime, Nube-sensei. Oh, what's that? You want to hear more about this Nube? Then, might I suggest you check out my previous video about horror anime you've never heard of, all about Jigoku Sensei Nube. Then they soon arrive, and so does a spectral anomaly. Yokoshima, of course, knowing what will more than likely happen pursuing this haunted convoy, has second and third thoughts. He tries to bail, but Reiko ain't letting him go anywhere. This job is worth a hefty 200 million yen. That equates to around 1.9 million greenbacks in this day and age. Yokoshima mentions that he only gets paid 250 yen an hour, and that's pretty hilarious if you ask me. He ditches the crew, but what the fuck? Reiko somehow tied him to a leash during the previous argument? I'd hate to try and ditch her on a first date, holy shit. They board and find out the train is full of, but what else? Ghosts with evil intent. Ultimately, the team must make it to the front car in order to encounter the head apparition. But how will they do that? Reiko literally strung together a makeshift ward that the three must wrap around themselves to press forward. Yokoshima goes in for the roast of Mikami's invention, but she ain't having it. They plow through with the power of Mikami's main weapon, the Jinsu Kon, or Divine Club. And in case anyone ever wondered, ghosts feel gushy, slimy, and squishy. Who knew? The ward seems to be breaking apart, and the ghosts close in on our Wraithbusters. And just as it snaps, they escape by the skin of their teeth. It's pretty funny here how the ghosts badmouth everyone, yet they can't go to the next car because it's the expensive one and they rode on the cheap car. I can relate, sadly. In the next scene, it's basically one long gag where serving ghosts and beautiful girls are, and of course, Yokoshima falls for them, slowing Mikami down. They try to sell him really cheap food that he's willing to buy a lot of. However, he pays with modern money, which the girls don't take kindly to for some reason. We soon find out that everyone on the train died sometime before 1983 when 500 yen was still a bill, apparently. Moving on along, Mikami and Okinu just straight up left him for dead? Wow. He runs to the next car and Reiko saves him from God knows what. And again, Yokoshima inconveniences the crew. But this time for the better because he brings about the head ghost Reiko has been looking for. I'd say this guy might give her a run for her money. Now things are getting good. Powering up the Jinsukan, she soon engages in battle. That's pretty creepy. Reiko goes in for the kill and scores a clean critical hit and quickly requests Yokoshima to give her a 100 million yen talisman to seal the deal on this guy. The ghost gets the better of her and Yokoshima can't find the talisman. Reiko is screwed. Wait, no, gotta remember, this is a gag comedy series, guys. Now that was funny. The ghost defeats himself and she seals him with a 1 yen talisman. Soon, a young woman appears in the main cargo car and they catch up to her. She's revealed to be the heart and memories of the train. We learned the ghost train was once a real train, but went out of service some time ago and lived on as a wandering spirit. Reiko refers to it as a Tsukumogami artifact spirit, or tool or object that acquires a spirit. The head ghost inhabited the spectral train with malicious intent and prevented it from reaching its final destination. Lastly, it is revealed that the train spirit itself sent the train ticket to Reiko for her expertise. So there's a final joke here at the end that I really don't quite understand. Sorry about that, guys. Probably something lost in translation. Overall, this was a fun episode. So let's take a look at the differences between this episode and its manga counterpart, shall we? This episode correlates to Manga Volume 3, Chapter 5. Reiko is seen in the manga sporting an overcoat and sweater/bodysuit underneath. Yokoshima also mentions that it's snowing outside, explaining why Reiko has a coat on. Reiko also apparently created the ward on the spot here in this chapter. Other than that, the part with the servant girls is total timing filler, and after they reach the second car, Yokoshima triggers the lead ghost to appear. As uncommon as it is, in this situation the anime adaptation is a little better. Next up is episode 13 titled Rival, Ogasawara Emi. We start off with Yokoshima doing what I often do on a Friday night alone. Eating cup ramen alone while bitching about my job and being totally broke. I can easily relate, buddy. As mentioned in the previous episode summary, Yokoshima is seen complaining to boss lady that he only gets paid 250 yen an hour. That's around $2.35 these days. Of course, he doesn't have the gall to approach Reiko like that. Yes. We soon see a tall, darker-skinned lady approach Yokoshima in Reiko's office. This is Emi Ogasawara, an ex-assassin turned rival ghost sweeper of some notoriety and fame of Reiko. I guess here, when we see the cup break that is Yokoshima's, that kinda means a bad omen is approaching for our perverse hero. He then barges in, late as all hell to work, and brings in Emi saying she offered him a job. Hi, yeah, you definitely are being headhunted, pal. Emi and Reiko are seen to have a history together because of their back and forth arguing as soon as they meet eyes. We then learn Emi is quite adept at voodoo and curses when it comes to her talent as a ghost sweeper. Funny stuff here is they call out each other's vices. Emi seems to do a lot more shady dealings with the government, casting hexes and spell on whoever they want, while Reiko is called out for straight up working with Yakuza and the like. I guess these girls gotta get the bag any way possible. Long story short, Emi has offered Yokoshima an offer he simply cannot refuse. He really can't physically because he's a perv. God damn it, what happened to the artwork here? Reiko was seen giving him the wage beatdown ultra killer combo when he erates her response to Emi's offer. Legitimately funny stuff here. So Emi walks off with her new lapdog and has him sign his sign a contract of sorts. This can't end well. She summons her other assistants, Arnold Schwartz and... Whoa, what did she say? Come on, lady, this is 2020. Okay, I get it. I gotcha. My mistake. Emi's ghost sweeping office has a ghost hunting job immediately and they head out. The guys give Yokoshima a brief rundown of how jobs generally go. The men just act out Operation Human Meat Shield for Emi as she chants her voodoo incantations. So all this abuse for a measly $189,000 a year and free room and board? Sign me up. She makes light work of the evil spirits with her signature attack, Reitai Gekimetsu Ha, or Spiritual Destruction Wave. Yokoshima's mug is seen to shatter once again. So a few days pass and we now see Reiko consulting with what seems to be the head of a Yakuza group. He thinks he's being attacked every night by evil spirits, but Reiko assures him that he's indeed been cursed. Emi has cast a hex on one of the heads of the Jigoku Sensei Nube group. So wait a minute, what exactly is Emi doing wrong here? She's bringing down crime in this city. Oh, wait, Reiko works for the Yakuza strictly for financial gain. That makes sense. Okinu seems to be trying to get Yokoshima back. I wonder why. Anyway, Emi seemed to have planned this all along. Her lackeys have been keeping an eye on one of the Jigoku group's offices and alerts Emi of Reiko's presence. We then see Yokoshima standing in what seems to be a pentagram of sorts, and Emi exiting her company vehicle dressed oddly. This is her typical outfit for cursing ceremonies. She plans to curse and get rid of Reiko for good, using Yokoshima as a scapegoat for her spell. The contract Yokoshima signed earlier was actually a pact with a demon spirit named Engage, who bounds anyone who signs it with him to specific agreements which, if are not satisfied, he will take their life, or some of it. I no longer want that $190,000 a year and free housing. The cursing ceremony begins, and Reiko encounters a hellish demon-like golem shaped like her former employee. What's really funny here is the fact that the demon is only as strong as it sacrifices evil or perverted passion. Reiko is screwed. Yokoshima soon goes full-on Super Saiyan 2 perv, and Emi is kinda okay with it, somewhat. But oh, let's be real. They're dealing with a top-tier Ghost Sweeper who's the reincarnation of Mephisto here. She pummels the golem with her most expensive talismans and wins. Reiko and Okinu soon arrive at the ceremony ground and, with a yell and a sharpshooter to the face of Yokoshima, seeing Emi and her demonic golem running with the hellish fiend turning on its owner. Oh, and apparently Engage the demon spirit is pretty low level. Reiko still tries not to acknowledge Yokoshima's plea to come back, and after a bit of annoying taunts from Okinu, she allows him to return to the Mikami Ghost Sweeper office with just a 5 yen or roughly 5-cent raise. Story of my life, everyone. Emi is last seen still on the run from her hellspawn, but what exactly happened to her 3 assistants? Another fun one, I must say. So, let's check out the manga differences. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to the guys from Neryaru Translations for starting this GS Mikami manga translation project well over a decade ago and sticking with it to the very last volume. Thanks guys, I actually used to read this on my PSP way back in the day. This episode correlates with Manga Volume 3, Chapters 1 through 3. Yokoshima is seen talking to his parents on the phone, hoping to get a chance to ask for money as opposed to him trying to salvage what little food he has for the week to survive with his piss-poor pay. Okinu is seen to be a lot more on edge in the manga. Emi actually launches a counterattack against Reiko with everything she has in these panels. And lastly, Emi's assistants are seen once again ready to guard her as she readies another Reitai Gekimetsuha against the newly turned demon. Well guys, it was fun once again bringing to your attention another horror-centric anime that you may or may not have heard of. This one is definitely a classic that I feel more fans of the genre should check out. It's too bad that the anime never went further into the manga and ended at 45 episodes produced. A movie, however, did release in 1994 that brings most of the cast together once again with all the gags and hijinks you'd expect from GS Mikami. I just want to say to all who watch and like my videos, I really appreciate it so much. So thanks to all who came back to check this one out or just checking out the channel for the very first time. And happy Halloween.